Well, today I would like to show you something good in this lesson. Well, I'm the person of Efo Jimado, the founder of Money Small GH and a webinar and seminar instructor at the same organization. Well, if you see this blender, this commercial blender, we have the Silver Crest, we have the Kenwood and the Sinbo and other brands as well. This with me is the 4500 watt, as you can see it carefully, and the one that I'm using myself is the Kenwood brand. But today the focus of this video is to show you how to use these blenders, how to operate them, or how to know their functionalities. I've received countless of complaints regarding people who have had challenges with the usage of their blenders, and I want to show you how to use this blender so that it will last for you for a very long time. I've been using mine over a year now, and I've never encountered any problem with it, being it smoking, leakage, and so on and so forth. So folks, today I have with me rice. So this is rice, just as you can see. This is rice. It's not cooked. It's not a cooked rice. So I'm going to blend this rice into powdered form with my blender to explain to you how the controllers of this Kenwood blender, being it the Sinbo, being it the Silver Crest, how you should use them. So I quickly remove the top of it. I come here, take off my this, then I fetch the rice, the dry rice, into the jar of the blender. So I fetch as I want. So this is rice for you. Let me pour as many as I want, or pour all. I poured it. Then I put this down. So I have my rice in the jar. So you see it. So I now put the jar on top of how do you call it? The base of the blender. Now, when you come, you then plug your blender, the socket of the blender, to the wall. Then you turn it on. This is where we have the most important thing that I would like each and every one of you to listen with rapt attention, so that you get the understanding of how to use this blender. When you come here, look at this. We have this middle controller here, and one of the controllers, when you turn it on, it goes down like that. So you see we have on and off. So when you turn it on, the one at the right hand side, when you turn it on, it stays. But the other one, this side, the one at the left hand or whatever, at this very part, when you press it, you see that it doesn't stay. We use this part. You press and hold it within 5 to 10 seconds to break the items into smaller units. I repeat, you press and hold this for 5 to 10 seconds. The maximum should be 12 seconds, so that it breaks the unit in the item, in the jar, into smaller pieces. Then you wait for about 60 seconds, I should say 45 to 60 seconds, for the motor to cool down a bit before you make use of this. So see what I will be doing, so that you follow the same thing in your home. So I come to this side and turn on my socket or plug. Then instead of me using here, I don't use here, I release it. I don't make use of these two, this and this. I don't. The next thing is to see the jar. You place your hand on it. You put your hand on it and press it, so that it's the jar and the base of the blender get good grip. The reason is, if you don't place your hand on it, the motor turns with maximum speed, and the pivot, the metal here, and that of this pivot, when you don't place your hand on it while blending, the jar together with the unit in it will be shaken. Whilst it shakes, the pivot, the male pivot and the female pivot will worn out. As in our local dialect, people will say nanono bewe, it will worn out, and you start hearing excessive noise in it. This means that this very part, the teeth here and that of this place will worn out. It will worn out. It will go off, and you start hearing excessive noise. So observe what I will be doing in this video. As I said earlier, I place my hand on it firmly on the jar. I place my hand on the jar firmly, then I press and hold this. I then release my hand on it. So once I release, you see that the down part of the rice is becoming powdered while the other part is not. So what I do is I then shake it this way so that the one that hasn't been broken or hasn't been grinded or blended goes down so that the powdered form comes up. So this is what I do. Or probably you get a spoon or something to stir it. But this is what I personally prefer to do. In doing this, the motor is also relaxed or within and is getting cool. So when I'm done, I then place it back again. I press it and use this controller. Don't forget, you need to place your hand on top of the jar so that it gets gripped to the base. I press and hold this. Sorry for the noise, but we need to comply. I release my hand again and I wait. As you can see, you see that the upper part, let me open it so that you understand what I'm trying to mean. You see that it's not well grinded or blended. So I shake it again. Then the bigger particles goes down while the powdered forms comes up. That is what happens when you try shaking it that way or you stir it. Then you wait for a while for the motor to cool down. When you blend it and you touch this part, you realize that it is hot or warm. Or you even touch the other pivot beneath the jar, you realize that it's warm. So when I'm done, I wait for about 45 to 60 seconds. The motor will cool down. Then you now press, close it again. I place my hand on it. I'm now coming to use this part, this controller. I turn this on. Then I use the middle controller here to regulate the volume. Well, we are getting closer to what we are doing. But one thing I need to let you understand here is don't let the blender be on and be blending for so long. Don't let it be on more than 20 seconds, please. The maximum you should leave it on should be 15 seconds, and that is when you are using these two controllers. So we are getting, it's still not grinded as I want it. So I'm still waiting for the motor to get cooled down a bit. So when you observe it carefully, you realize that there are other rice in it. So let me pour it here so that you see what I'm trying to talk about. So if you see it carefully, you see that there is rice in there. But I want it to be in a powdered form. Everything should be very smooth. And that is the end result we are going to get. So please, without due respect, bear with me so that you observe how I demonstrate on how to use the blender very well. Or you can still shake it again so that the bigger items goes down while the powdered form goes up. I place it here, then I'm not going to use this controller again. I turn this controller at the center. The maximum should be 15 to 20 seconds, I repeat. forget to let your hand be on top of the jar so that it makes it big, so that the jar doesn't keep shaking. Okay? Even myself, it has elapsed, but don't do that at home. The maximum, I repeat, should be 15 to 20 seconds. So this is our rice for us. This is our rice for us in its powdered state. So I'm pouring it so that you see it. Look at it carefully. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. So nice. 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 That's very awesome. Let me put this, and I want to show it to you carefully. Look at it. So see, look at just look at it. It has done justice to it, and it is in a powdered form that you might think it's even sugar, but it is not sugar. This is rice that has been blended with the commercial blender, being it the Kenwood, being it the Silver Crest, being it the Sinbo. So just get yours and know how to use it. Its use. So I'm going to prepare some porridge with this, but I'll not be shooting a video on that. But folks, the next complaint that I have received regarding the use of these blenders is the leakage problems. The leakage problems. The next one is excessive noise and smoking. In my subsequent or next videos, I'll be tackling how to resolve these leakage problems when the jar is leaking, excessive noise, or when the pivot is has worn out, how you can replace those things or how you can get it solved, and when it is smoking, what we are supposed to do. If you have any question or any comment, drop your questions in the comment section below, and I'll get you linked up with whatever you want. Thank you, and see you in my next video.